So normal functions like you're used to, they give instructions for transforming numbers into other numbers. At a really basic level, that's what they do. For example, if I wrote f of x equals x squared, what I'm doing is I'm telling you that you should take every number you can think of and square that number. But what if I want to have different cases with different instructions for each of those cases? For example, if x is greater than 2, then I want you to square the number that you take. If x is less than or equal to 2, then what I want you to do instead is add 3 to it. Well, this is how I write this in a formula. Instead of one recipe or formula, I have two, and then I have the word if on each of those, and then I have instructions for when you should use each of these formulas. So these inequalities over here shouldn't overlap. You should look over here first to determine which of these formulas that you should use. Now, a few notes. Like I said, only one formula should apply for any specific x. In other words, the vertical line test still applies here. So think about f of 3. You look over here at these inequalities and see that the number 3 falls into this first pile of numbers. So that's how I know that f of 3 is equal to 3 squared, and it's definitely not 3 plus 3. Second, you can have as many cases or different formulas as you want. Most of my examples are 2 formulas, but you can have 3 or 4 or even infinitely many. And finally, you'll see very commonly that people will write a comma instead of that word if, although verbally you would always say if. So here's an example of evaluating piecewise defined functions as specific numbers. So here I have a 3-piece piecewise defined graph. I have all my different inequalities to outline my different cases, and all I want to know is what is f of -5? Like classic plug and chug, right? So first, you look at the right-hand column here, and you say, where does -5 fall? It fits into this inequality right here. -5 is definitely less than -2. And therefore, this is the formula that we should use. So f of -5 is equal to -5 squared plus 3, or -22. What is f of e? Again, look at this column. Now e, remember, it's about 2.7, right? So e is higher than 1. So e fits into this pile of numbers and does not fit into these two. And therefore, f of e is equal to ln of e, which is exactly 1. And finally, what is f of -1? Now, -1 actually fits in this inequality. It's in between -2 and 1. And so this is the formula that I'm supposed to use. And don't be fooled. The formula really is just 4. You don't plug the -1 into anything. Remember, if I said y equals 4 is the function I'm thinking of, you probably wouldn't have any trouble drawing a horizontal line. So this is that same thing. The y value is always going to be 4.